Your credit isn't broken. It's speaking to you. It's your story. It's not over. It's just misread. Your score is not just a number. It's a mirror that really reflects on your delay, your detour, your every dream behind your finances. You've been buried behind debt and doubt of this random number. But today, what if I was sharing with you that today the whole stop running from that number to be able to get some clarity? Welcome to the live conversations with Adriane Mayes, Tuesday lives, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we don't just talk about strategies, we talk about real results, real transformation, and literally talking to real people. We're not gurus, but at the same time, it's not just about marketing. It's about building that mindset to know that anything is possible. We dropped gems about the AI cash story and understanding that your GPS to financial freedom, it does lie in regards to our subject here today, credit. So I'm bringing on a woman today who just doesn't open deals. She actually opens doors and opens opportunities for women that are going to be able to take things to the next level and understanding what this blueprint looks like. So the whole purpose is just to empower professionals and to transform their marketing journey. But we're talking to this amazing coach here today that's been driving with over 15 years of commercial real estate and asset management experience. She helps people with not just their finances, but with their whole life. Like even before we got on speaking today, she was telling me about my sleeping habits. But first-time home buyers, seasoned investors, your fix and flip buildings credit from scratch, as well as closing the loan and getting the finances together. Catalina Galeano is here to help you with your money story. And no one taught you how to write it, because every financial breakdown, my friends, is just a breakthrough. And that breakthrough is walking in the right direction of your story, your cash story. So we're not going to have there's no floods, there's no formality. We're going to have an open conversation and talk a little bit about what it actually moves Catalina and driving it, and even an amazing event that she held here in regards to not just loans and credit, but legacy, worthy, and walking into your purpose. We have the opportunity to learn how something like credit, you're going to have some challenges, but why not have help? Why not actually have someone you can connect with confidence? And literally, we met on Facebook. And just being able to just reach out and see in regards to one of my clients with being the Change LLC, as well as Gaines Family Tax Services, needed some help in regards to her credit. And she literally has all of the information on her Facebook page and reached out, and we talked in the DM. And so in order to help people with their financial strategy, it's not just a lie. This is about healing your finances, a strategy, and understanding that you're dealing with someone that actually has a passion for helping. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments here. Bring your story and bring that belief that you are in good hands today, because I have the pleasure of bringing Catalina Galeano on here live with us. And so let me just go ahead and, with further ado, add Catalina, how are you doing this amazing afternoon? Thank you so much for joining live virtual conversations with Adriane Mayes. So how's your day going?
Thank you so much for having me on, Adriane. You're absolutely amazing and so inspiring. I love your energy.
Oh, thank you. And your energy as well. We're going to talk about heels to deals, and definitely. So impacting women is what you do. And I love that your brand and everything that you're building here. But remember, like I shared with you before, simple and easy, right? We're going to have a conversation. And the whole goal as well is to talk about the QuickBook, the 7-day AI cash story, and I'll be able to share more information about the playbook, because simply just running the play. And running the play in regards to your business is making sure that the finances is taken care of, and then that they're not alone. The key thing about that is sometimes you do feel like you're alone, and you think that you don't have help, but guess what? We're going to talk about it together. So tell me a little bit about you, Catalina. How did you get started in your journey?
That's such a loaded question.
I know, right?
I mean, I do believe that our stories are like the medicine to the world, right? And that our past gives us, the lessons that we can, in the wisdom, right, to rewrite our story. So one of the things that I really resonated, when you gave this introduction, is that our credit score is definitely more than just a number, right? It is quoted, it's the financial decisions that we've taken in the past, but I don't let that decide who you are, right? So when people come to me, there is no shame, there is no judgment, there is just a safe space, because when you reach out for help, right? And that's what moves me, to be able to be a catalyst of transformation, to be able to provide tangible solutions for people to transform not only their inner life, but in this case, their financial wealth, right? So yeah, it's all about rewriting our story, taking radical action towards the life that we want to create. Because let's be real, like, in the banking industry, I do mortgage lending, and that's the first thing that a bank or a lender is going to ask you for, right? Like, what's your credit score in order for you to qualify for a program, for interest rates, for all of that. But what I was going to say is that, so, and it's the trustworthiness, they are going to give you a loan. They're going to give you financing based on your past decisions, right? So when people come to me and they have the money to invest, but their credit score is really holding them back, I can also provide that service by enrolling them in a program where we can actually remove certain negative items that are impacting their score. And this takes time. This is not going to happen overnight. And that's what I explain to people, because that's one of the things that one of my core values is being absolutely transparent and having integrity in the way that I serve. So I'm very honest, with my clients, and I tell them, okay, so if you're gonna start this process, you're gonna have to give it time to heal, just like everything else in life. It takes time to overcome challenges, to heal something in our lives, right? Just like it took time for you to screw up your credit, right? It takes time, to put it back into balance, right? But I walk them through the entire process so that I can then pre-qualify them and see what's the best tailor option for them based on their needs. So I take my time to do a thorough analysis and get them to the final, goal, to give them the keys to their home, or to get them into the next investment home, or doing, like the financial, education, because everything comes back, Adriane, to education. And you, more than anyone else, knows that this is exactly why you're doing this series. Because if we don't invest in ourselves, if we don't take the time to develop our skills, and we actually don't understand these processes, we're never gonna take action. Because most of the time when clients come to me, they don't take action because of fear, and fear comes from lack of knowledge, right? So that's why I take my time to educate them. And once they feel like they have all the tools and all the information, the fear fades and it goes away, and they feel, that they can work with someone that has their best interest at heart. And that's the thing, I'm passionate about human connection, and honestly, income is just a byproduct of the service that we provide and how we show up in the world, right? So that's why, like, I do mortgage lending and credit repair, but what I'm passionate about is about, psychology and human connection and neuroscience, and how to really change that mindset and those beliefs that are holding us back, right?
But so even I want you to expound on that, because thank you so much for sharing that. It's that was so loaded. But think about what you just shared in regards to mindset. It takes people all of this time frame, and then most people aren't our real estate investors, right? They purchase a home maybe once or twice in their whole lifetime. But you have this blueprint of your credit report that is one of the pieces of the mortgage process, that in order for you to get to the part, your end goal is to actually qualify.
Correct.
So in regards to that, just the psychology of how people work, and people knowing that you have to sometimes look at your credit and go and just kind of be transparent, because you can get those things removed. And how much education? I know you live in Cypress, Texas now, but I know that how much education were you actually provided how to actually do a mortgage, or even how to do credit, or understanding the mortgage process of income, property, assets, and credit, and putting that all together? Because we
Yeah,
talk about education, right? So with
correct.
that mindset with your clients and with your passion, how does that even play a part in regards to your whole goals? I know that was loaded, but it's just like,
Yeah,
because
very. So,
yeah.
so just to give you a little bit of background, so I actually have background in accounting. Okay,
Okay.
so that's what I went to school for.
What school did
Again,
you go to? What school did you go to?
back in California to Mission College.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So here's the thing that, going back to that mindset, right? Because
Mhm.
we are programmed to choose a career based on how much money you're going to create, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm originally from Colombia, and when I was living there, I actually went to a school to become almost like medicine. I was going to be like the assistant to the surgeon.
Ooh.
Okay. And I went towards that because my mom told me, hey, you need to choose something that is going to generate income, right? And that gets us stuck in those beliefs. Then when we came to United States, I went, to study accounting because what? Like money is
Right.
what everyone wants. And
Right.
if
Right.
we learn how to work with money, if we
Mhm.
learn, the ins and outs and get a better relationship with money, then, obviously we can transform our lives. But originally I just got into accounting, just to pay the bills and to get more knowledgeable about that. But
Mhm.
eventually I actually worked for a capital venture in asset management company, which is very well known in California. So most of our shopping centers were in Southern California, in Huntington Beach, in Pacific City, in LA and all of that area.
Mhm.
And I actually handled all of the investor relations and the finance part, right? So throughout all those years, that's when I learned, what really comes into account,
Mhm.
as far as financing, right? I
Right.
got into the mortgage lending world or the industry about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I do believe that, these are not decisions that we make, but I believe that the
Mhm.
universe puts us on a path,
That's
and
true.
things kind of like, happen that way, right?
Right. Mhm.
So one of the things that I was going over, some of the questions, or some of the things that I wanted to share is that, I worked for corporate America for the longest time and I was extremely successful at it, right?
Mhm.
But there
Mhm.
comes a point in life where, when we have to be completely, authentically honest with ourselves and determine what is it that we want to do with our lives, right?
Right. Right.
And honestly, like I felt like being an employee and getting and achieving someone else's dream was not cutting it for me anymore because I was
Mhm.
abandoning my own dream, right?
Right. Mhm.
And that's when I did, I actually invested in myself and I got certified, as a transformational coach, and then I got into the mortgage industry and all of that. But it's a continuous evolution. It's a continuing, ways to educate ourselves and to also, learn.
Right.
We're always learning, right? So because you
Mhm.
asked me, okay, so how did you get into that? It's a loaded, question,
It's a
because
loaded question. Yeah.
I've had such a long background to bring me to this point. But I
Right.
feel like I can breach that, the like that balance between mortgage lending, financial education, and financial wealth with my coaching practice, because I really take the time to educate my clients, my people, my community, because that's what I'm passionate about, and then obviously providing them the solutions to get to the, to level up, to transform their lives, to get the results that they want. But if we
Mhm.
don't change the mindset, Adrienne,
Right.
then nothing can actually happen, because I've had people where I was actually able to help them with their, repairing their credit or refinancing their home or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if they don't change their habits, they're going to screw up again. They're going to continue making payments late. They're going to continue, overspending, right? So it's a continuous education and self-development, understanding of our vision and what is it that we want, right? And if we want different results, then we have to change.
We have to do things different, right? And so one thing I talked about and focus on now is just having your cash story, and you're having a format, and literally what you're talking about is the before and after, right? Transformation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And your credit works the same way. It's not an overnight process.
Right.
It takes time for you to actually get there. So one of the questions I want to help ask you is in regards to like your passion, right? You've helped so many people with credit, and not just credit, but also with confidence. So what role does mindset and transformation play in your approach to just having, like I said, that storytelling format and your financial empowerment? How does that play a role?
Well, I believe that in order for us to develop confidence, we need to have knowledge. Okay.
Right.
So most of the time, when we don't have enough information is when we don't take action. Right. And most of the time, when people come to me, they are in that stage of like shock because they feel like, I don't know if I'm ready to make this investment. I don't know if I'm ready, to take this step. Right. We're never going to be ready.
Right.
We're never going to be ready to become parents, to make that next move, to purchase a home. And there are people waiting for, the interest rates to go down and all of that. But what I ask my clients is, are you going to continue waiting, or are you going to create with what you currently have in your hands? Right? Mm-hmm. Because honestly, like the past and the future doesn't exist. We only have the present. So what are we doing with what we currently have? Are you going to be a victim of fear because you're not having enough information? And that's when I come in, a trustworthy advisor that is going to tell you exactly how we're going to go through the process, and I'm going to educate you in the process. Or are you going to let fear, not allow you to make that step or to change your life, right? So again, it goes back, so that confidence is built through self-development, to know who we truly are beyond the layers of conditioning and understanding what we're capable of. And then again, investing in educating ourselves. What am I doing today to change the script? What am I doing today to rewrite my story? Am I going to let the past continue define who I am, or let shame, be in the middle of the person that I aspire to become? No. Right. And I'm sorry to say this, but fuck that. No, I'm not going to let that. And that's when my coaching comes in. And when they feel, that and they feel like, yes, Cata, I'm ready to change my story, and I'm ready to invest into my first family home for my family, or to take the step to heal my credit. Stop procrastinating, because procrastination is the same thing as being in fear. Right. So we have to take action. Sometimes we just have to take that leap of faith and trust that we need to take action, because if we're in the same place, we're not going to get different results.
Change happens when change happens. And I'm so glad you brought that up as well. Because again, before we even started today, we talked a little bit about something amazing you did not too long ago, Heels to Deals. And I know I wanted to get that conversation going, because I know that it's going to be, it's going to be extensive. Just because of the simple fact of how amazing, and I saw the passion, and I want you to kind of share a little bit about what it is, and literally how did it get started? I just honestly want you to just kind of give that information, because people sometimes don't realize that there's help out here. And the formal ways to doing things, yes, sometimes it seems a little difficult, but someone came to you for not even for a home, right? And you Heels to Deals, for women, that is so amazing of a title. So I just literally want
So it's
I want
actually
you to
so
jump into that.
funny because thank you so much, first of all, for opening a space, to the whole story about Heels to
Oh,
Deals.
please do. Yes.
So you and I know that through connections, we create collaborations, and that's how we create, wealth, how we can make business and deals happen. Okay.
Right.
So one of my dear partners, realtors, came to me, and she's like, "Hey, Kata, I want to create this event for networking. It was an event, and so." So she's a realtor. She didn't come to me to give her a loan or to help her client with a loan, but she said, "Hey, Kata, I want you to organize this event because I know that you have a great reach, and that I love the way that you show up in the world, and it will be wonderful if you can help me." So I said, "Hey, yes, absolutely. What an honor. So thank you for trusting me." And I reached out to one of my amazing, powerful friends, Kim Moreno. She's an absolute inspiration, and she's a force of nature. So so I'm like, "Hey, Kim, we have to make this happen." And she's like, "Yes, absolutely." So then going back and forward with the name, we came up with the name of Heels to Deals, because this event was going to take place during March. And in March, we honor the lives of women, so it's International Women's Day. And I came up with the idea of like really doing this event just for women, for leaders in the real estate industry, that have that capacity to be the nurturers, because most of us are moms, right? And we are holding our home, our partners, our siblings, community, and then at the same time pushing forward to bring business and to make things happen, right? So so Kim and I created this movement now, because it's become a brand of really opening a space for women across different industries, not only real estate, but different other industries, to come forward and to make genuine connections, because that's where the magic happens. It's not about networking and the next deal. It's about trusting the connections that we make in these spaces, and then from there many things can be born, right? And so this last event, which happened last week on Friday, was absolutely like amazing and magnificent. The list, I mean, it really moves me, because I can see the faces of the women showing up and collaborating and talking, and we had such an amazing speaker, Dr. Viviana Coles, and she just brought her amazing energy to the room, and she was guiding all of us in the room about like how to take our business to the next level through real assertive communication, but also about our relationships, right? Because the way that we show up in business, in a way, is the reflection of our personal life. Many people say that it doesn't have anything to do, but let's be real. If something is not happy, if things are not going well at home, or if we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, that's going to be the direct reflection in our business, with our clients, with the way that we communicate. So when she started talking, everyone was just deeply moved. She's amazing. A sex therapist, which I love.
Right? I love her tagline: "Get the sex life your life deserves." Okay.
Yes, because hey, let's talk about sex.
Right.
Like, seriously, like, sex is creation.
It is.
Right. So I mean, as women, we are creators. We are always birthing new ideas, new businesses, new all of that. So when we understand the power the powerful understanding of what sex is in our lives, then we
Right.
can also understand that we can bring to life anything that we seem is possible, right? But again, it goes back to the mindset. It goes back to the inner, work, self-development, and understanding our own paradigms and our own inner blocks.
I love it. I love it. So, what was one thing that, if you could describe the event in one word, what was the one word that you would actually have for Heels to Deals?
Genuine connections that
Ooh,
build powerful collaborations.
I love it. I love it. Heels to Deals. So, are you going to plan on doing other ones, or are you going to have them in the
Yes.
future?
So the idea is that we're going to be doing these events every other month, or like every 2 months, because it takes a lot of work to put these kind of events together. So probably the next one we're thinking about hosting it in September.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna give us enough time to also plan and market it, and also enjoy the summer.
Right. No, right?
At home, and again, we are not only women in this industry. We're not only
Mhm.
business people. We're also parents. We're also, partners. We're also people that make an impact in our lives, right? And I have a lot going on. I'm a single mom, and I have, my mortgage lending businesses, credit repair. I coach people for life, like for their personal lives, for their business. I also, and when it comes down to financial literacy, like I also sit down with my clients and I do a deep analysis of where they're at in their lives, how to plan for retirement, how to invest their money strategically. Because let's be honest, I mean, we are part of a system that either creates more poverty
Yeah.
or that creates abundance. And I believe that we were born in an abundant universe, and that that's the abundant mindset, right? Like it's already, everything has been given to us, but it's up to us to really take that to the next level, right?
And then, so even so, you're like a published author. You mentioned coaching others. Like, what systems or beliefs have helped you kind of stay consistent in your brand, impacting as well as making income as well? Like, what's your inspiration?
So my
Besides
motto.
your baby, by the way, she's doing
Thank
amazing things.
you.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations!
Isabella. She's my mentor. She
I
is
love
my
it. I love
absolute
it.
inspiration.
I love it. I love it. But yes,
Thank
so
you.
what is your inspiration?
Yeah. So one of the things that, or my mottos in life, is to connect with our truest essence, right?
Okay.
Um, and that has been giving me the opportunity to completely transform my life, and being in integrity with what I'm really aligned with, right?
Mhm.
I believe that we didn't come to this life to barely survive, but we came to fully live in prosperity, in abundance. And in order for us to do that, we have to unlearn the
Mhm.
things that are no longer serving us, and we have to learn new ways to create the life that we desire. And I believe that the most powerful tool to do that is always remembering our why
Right.
do I want to do this? Like, what's
Mhm.
moving me? What's that sacred calling that keeps echoing inside? Not for the outcome, but what really moves my soul, and what kind of impact do I want to generate in this planet. It's, I mean, honestly, again, going back to income is just the byproduct of the
Byproduct.
way
Yeah.
that we service. When we service, and when we bring integrity to what we do, and we provide solutions, our service is going to get paid, right?
Right.
But
Right.
more than the income is, okay, so how am I serving? How am I impacting my community? what's really my why behind it. And my daughter, like I said, she's my biggest mentor and inspiration, but she's going to continue her life, right?
Right.
We have to understand what is it that we came here to do. And it's not something that society tells you or your family. It's a sacred calling. It's something that comes from beyond. It comes from a spirit. It comes from something bigger, right? And this is my mission. My mission is to be a catalyst of transformation and being a channel for people to show up in their more raw way. Because I believe that there is nothing wrong with us. We are divine beings and in the divine reflection of everything. We just need to learn to invest in ourselves, in our inner development, and unlearn all the crap that was ingrained in our mind, and really take action and define who you are. In order for us to define who we are, we have to do the shadow work. We have to go through those spaces where it might feel uncomfortable, but no one ever expanded their lives in the comfort zone. So let's be real. We have to take risks, and we have to have the guts to see the darkest spaces that are not letting us to expand, to stretch.
So one of the things that you mentioned too, of course, working with credit, and I had to post this earlier before we talked about where to get a free credit report and that kind of thing. But do you have a transformational story that stands out with you in regards to someone that started, as you can see, kind of the range of credit scores, right? But
yes,
do you have a story that stands out for you, like one of your clients?
Yes. Actually, my mentor, her name is Raisa Santiago. Okay, so her story touched me deeply because she actually started in this business 8 years back after a divorce. She lost it all. She was living paycheck to paycheck, and as a single mom, she had a credit score of 512, I believe. She couldn't get a rent. She couldn't get a car. She was denied everywhere, right?
Oh, wow.
So she was actually on Facebook, and she was, just scrolling, and she came up and she saw information about UCES, which is the company that I partnered with. And she decided, hey, I want to do an introduction with them, and I want to see what they're all about. So she originally signed up for the program just to heal her credit, right? Just to fix her credit. And in 6 months or 7 months, she was able to take the bankruptcy out of her credit report. She was able, to get more than 30 negative items removed from her credit, to the point that she said, I really want to do this for living, because she was like the life experience of that, of these tangible results, right? So she went for it. She actually created a powerful stream of income. At the time, she was still working as an employee, but now she's full on credit repair, and she built a business that it's over 7 figures a year. She has people all over the country. She met her husband at this company, right? And now
you're from doing a matchmaking too, huh?
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, Adriane, when you are in alignment with your truth, you will attract people that are in that same resonance or that same frequency. So she was putting all this effort into healing her life, her financial wealth, and that's where she met her current husband. Now they have a family together. They moved to Miami, and they are absolutely, like a power couple, right?
I love it. That is a heck. What's her name?
Raisa Santiago, and I can plug it in the chat.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, put it in the chat, because I would love to. That's amazing. Now that's why I love doing lives, because I never know what I'm going to get. It's live, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
That is an amazing transformation. But you know what? Honestly, what that showed as well, you sharing that story is showing that things are possible. You know,
Exactly.
you never know who you're going to impact on the way to your why. And I tell people that all the time because again, that's awesome. Like even for someone to start building and then getting to 7 figures, and then we say it a lot, you know, in regards to like income that you want to obtain or what have you. It sounds like it's not obtainable, but when you have real life stories and real life transformation, that's why people start to follow you. That's why people, hone in into your coaching services or what have. And I am being disrespectful of your time, just looking because this conversation is so amazing. Oh my God. So I looked up like, I'm 35 minutes. Okay, because I try to keep it around 30 minutes or so because I do respect because I know Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are busy any day that you know why. So I wanted to, again, I thank you so much for your time, Catalina. I wanted to do something fun real quick with the top 5, where we just ask real quick questions or what have you. Then I'm going to get you out of here in regards to your one word for your legacy and one word you would tell one thing you would tell your future self or your past self. But real quick, so if you could eat any food, and this is the top 5. So if you could eat any food every day, all day, what food would that be?
It's again a hard question. I invest a lot in my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So I used to be a vegetarian for the longest time, for more than 14 years on and off. Now I actually eat animal products. So I can eat meat every day. Right. Now, in nuts, especially cashews. I love cashews. What else? And veggies. I love veggies.
Okay, my mind is watermelon. I'm sticking to that one because I can eat that literally every day and not have wouldn't even think twice type thing. So that's
I like that.
Now tell me, I know you talked a little bit about Colombia. I know you're in Cypress, Texas now, but like where originally are you from? And is home Cypress, Texas? Did I get that? Did I hit that right?
So correct. So I'm originally from Colombia, from Bogota, Colombia.
I love it.
I've been in the States for 25 years already. When we first came with my family, we actually lived in Massachusetts for a couple of years. Then I moved.
What part of Massachusetts?
Worcester.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very small city. Has nothing to do with the whole Colombian passion and all of that. But my father had relatives there, so that's where we moved. Eventually, I moved to California, and I brought my family to California. And then my daughter and I made the move to Cypress, Texas after the pandemic.
Okay.
California was just,
Which part of Cali were you in? Which part?
The Silicon Valley in San Jose.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yes, so it was extremely expensive. The cost of living was, very high. And after being closed for over a year, people lost their businesses, and luckily I had a very strong position with the company that I was working with. But I wasn't in alignment with the way that the state was being run, so we made the move, and now Cypress is home, a wonderful place, very valued, very valued oriented and family oriented. And I love being able to be close to nature, and I get that here.
I love it. Well, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? That formally means hello from Detroit. But and Cypress isn't far from Houston, right?
It's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Because I have family, and my niece lives in Houston, Texas. I have family in Dallas, so I'm familiar with Cypress. So when I'm down there traveling, when I travel again in 2026, I will knock on your door.
Okay, yes, absolutely. You have a home here for sure.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So the next question now, what's your favorite place you've traveled to, and why is that your favorite place?
That's a really good question. I will say it was Algarve. That's in Portugal, in the southern part of Portugal. And it captivated me because I have a thing for the ocean and for the water. Probably I was a mermaid in my past life.
Right.
But I feel like, when we are close to the ocean, we're able to reset our nervous system, our yeah, just to ground ourselves. And it was like the perfect balance of creating a beautiful life in the flow of every day rather than pushing and going at it.
Yeah.
I was able to see people taking time, having delicious dinners at night. They really live more intentionally, so they take longer lunches throughout the day. And
Hmm.
that's the kind of life that I want to create for myself.
Would you move there? Like, would you live
I
there full?
I would. I will definitely do that. One of the things that I always tell my daughter is that, she's going to do her life, and in less than 3 or 4 years, she's going to go to college, and,
Right.
and,
Right.
and mom gets to decide where she wants to live. And I don't know if it's going to be in Portugal, but I'll definitely want to move to the Caribbean or to somewhere where I have the ocean nearby.
I love it. I say my place is Toronto now. It's up north of of course Detroit or what have you. I used to live there. My cousin used to play basketball for the Toronto Raptors. But one of the things I loved about it is had the different cultures. Right. I've never been to Portugal. I've traveled to 48
Yes.
of the 50 states. So now that's on my list as well.
Oh, it's
But like you said
beautiful.
though, I love the ocean. I love the water. And I love the temperature, right? So I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to go south.
exactly. Yes. And the food is delicious. The people, very
Right.
genuine, loving, welcoming people.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so now next question for you is what holiday or season do you look forward to the most every year?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love Thanksgiving.
Okay, okay.
So,
By
yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So first of all, okay. So we never had that back in Colombia.
Okay,
That's
okay.
only a holiday here that we celebrate in the States. But my birthday is November 26th, and it usually falls on Thanksgiving Day. Not every year, but
Mhm.
most of the times. So it's a great way for me to reevaluate how I spent my year or everything that I did throughout the year, and be absolutely raw about what am I grateful for, like
Right.
um that's that's something else that I do every morning. It's like
Mhm.
part of my ritual, like having that gratitude ritual of, okay, rather than asking for more, what do I currently have in my life that I feel blessed for? So that's my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving Day.
I love it. I love it. I do a gratitude list. I text message with one of my friends that lives in Oklahoma, and which brings me to the answer to my question for my favorite holiday. Now it's my sobriety day, which is the 20th of
Yes,
every
I wanna.
month.
Yes. Oh my God! Congratulations on that. Oh my
Oh my
goodness,
God, I'm 19 months. I'm still a baby and
girl.
loving it because you know what? I'm so grateful to be here in regards
Yes.
to like Thanksgiving used to be my answer too, because my foundation is my why, like helping people, serving, and being the best version of ourselves and just being able to give back. So I've been the president of my foundation for 15 years. But doing the sobriety journey, Catalina, if I can be honest with you, being and seeing the impact that you can make and help people by empowering yourself and loving yourself and understanding and doing the gratitude list and doing
Yes.
the daily, counseling and making sure that you the mental mindset. It's the 20th. It's every month. And used to my birthday was in September. I used to take the whole month anyway. So now
Yes.
the 20th, especially when transformation happens, that's going to be a holiday that everyone that is connected with me is really going to enjoy the 20th of every month. So
Yes, very much. And let me stop you right there because, first of all, I love the way that you hold the space for others. And now I want to do that for you. And I want to listen to what was that moment when you decided, I'm going to change my life.
So I got a OWI, which is the operating while under the influence, September 30th, 2023.
Okay.
And it was my third. So I'm a hard head. So what ended up happening with that, so of course I still did like everybody else and I blamed the world. And I still, like I told you, my sobriety date isn't until November 20th. And that happened in September. But what ended up happening because I didn't want to go to jail. So it
Mhm.
started then on a serious note. So, at first it started where I just didn't want to have to deal with the conclusion of me making a bad decision on September 30th. But then as I progressed through it and I was crying every day, just taking ownership, learning about that there's people out there that's just like me. There's understanding that putting all this blame, your family, your friends, and you really look inside. And so when I kept going through it, and like I said, I'm only 19, like I hate when I say only, but I'm 19 months sober. And so in regards to it, just getting those resentments and pulling back and peeling back, I'm helping more people just being my crazy outgoing self. But and that's literally how I got to my whole core marketing message of the AI cash story, is because again, your story, doing these virtuals,
Yes,
these
yes.
make your I didn't plan this. So I was telling my spiritual personal new solutions of recovery earlier. I didn't plan this for my life. But what I do know, this is my life and I can help someone else in regards to being silent, making change. And so that's literally when it happened. It wasn't, I can be honest and say it wasn't just like a, Adrian, let's it was seriously, I had to take control of in regards to, that's why I can't travel right now. So, but at the same time, this has been the best time of my
Yes.
life because I'm really getting to love Adrian through it all. Like it's not
Amen.
been easy. It hasn't, it's at all. But at the same time, owning it and doing accountability and authenticity and being able to help someone else, hey, realize that, hey, alcohol is, I'm never going to do it again. Like I was talking to my
Mhm.
friend a couple of days ago, and I'm done. And the reason why, and some things that you can say, I've tried it all, but I
Mhm.
know there's more out there. But honestly, the way that alcohol impacted me was slowing me down. And
Correct.
instead, like more people do it to act silly. So for me, it was a situation where it would slow me down. I would be able to conform to everybody else. I'm not like everybody else, Catalina, and other
Amen.
people are not as well. So being the best version of myself means peeling back those layers, however longer God gives me on this earth, just to be the best version. I just thank Him for giving me this plan to be able to choose me to help other people as well. So that's the short version.
Amen. Oh my God, I love the
Okay.
whole thing you say. And I mean, it is through the challenging times that we have the opportunity to fully, like peel those, those layers and really understand who we are,
Yeah.
and find compassion to really love ourselves with all the imperfections, because we are perfect through those imperfections as well.
Right.
So I love that, and you're such an inspiration, and yes to sobriety.
The 20th every month. Oh my God, it's going to be, it's just like we celebrate birthdays, because
Yes.
again, doing this and being different, people don't have to make the choices everybody else. And so just having my foundation and being able to get the clarity and find new things about myself and getting over those resentments that I was holding against myself, just loving Adriane Mayes. You know what I'm saying? And so I think I just stop putting blame on other people. I forgive people. I love where they are, and I want to get further and help other people along the way. Which brings me to number 5.
Yes.
Okay, my top 5 questions is in regards to just if you could recommend one book or movie that impacted you and changed your mindset forever. Which one would that be, and then why?
Yes. Okay. So for books, I will say The Four Agreements
Okay, the Four
by
Agreement.
The Four Agreements.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful, amazing book based on Toltec wisdom.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and it really reminds us, the power that we hold through the word. So, being impeccable with our word.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take things personal. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best.
I love
Those
it.
are the four agreements, and it's a beautiful book that it's a quick read,
Mm-hmm.
but it can definitely change people's perspective in the way that they show up for themselves and the way that they show up for others.
I love it. I love it because
Yeah,
you know what? That's the key thing is how you showing up. How do you show up when no one is watching?
exactly.
We can show up and we can put a front on. And I was just talking to one of my friends about that as well. But One thing that we mentioned a lot today was talking about finances. And so my favorite book is actually still by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what the rich
Yes, that one
about money, what the
too.
poor and
Yes.
wise don't. Because again, like one thing you kept pointing out, I can say in our conversation when we were talking about education and the educational system, I can't say that it has not failed us in regards to educating how taxes work, how money
Yes.
works, how finances work. And one of my actual passions is to be able to go out and teach the cash flow game one day in regards to just kind of showing people. That's why I talk about travel on my channel, because I want to show people that you can travel, you can enjoy life, and there's things that you can do. And he has this game called the cash flow board game. And so getting people out of this rat race, I want to go across the world and teach this actual game. I don't have to build my own. It's already done. So and show people how money works, real estate.
Yeah, because it's all about that. Yes, I love that. Yes. We should actually do a live on that, because it's all about understanding how money works, recreating the relationship that we have with money, right? And you said something very powerful just right now. Not only education, but
passive income, active income.
Yes, no, this in the educational system. I believe that schools indoctrinate people. That's what schools are for, right? So they teach people how to be a good employee and follow rules, but they don't teach anyone to be an entrepreneur or be a business owner or take like radical action in your hands to change your life. Why? Because that's how the system works. Like you said, the rat race. And so in order for us to really get out of that rat race, we have to think outside the box and invest in ourselves, because we are the biggest asset that we could ever invest in. So rather than going and ask for a job, why don't you create the opportunities? Why don't you create a stream of income that gives you that freedom that you were talking about? You can travel everywhere where you go. You can do things with AI. You can, automate things and still have that same impact and reach, because let's be real, now our reach is global. We don't only have a reach in person. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. We are utilizing this technology to give out this transmission and this message. So yeah, I love what you're doing, and I would love to learn more about it too.
Yes, and that's literally why I came up with the AI Cash Story Playbook, Catalina, on an honest note, because real estate professionals, we need to have this outlet of knowing that, yes, we can make billions online, but having where your playbook and understanding your story, that's your marketing tool in itself. And so we're actually having a masterclass to help people make their first $5,000 online. And being able to show people how this works, and being able to kind of show that anything is possible, but it does take a system. It does take work, just like everything else. But if you do the work, anything is possible, and then you don't have to do it alone. So we have a masterclass actually tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you go to realestate.beingachangeLLC.com and download the playbook, you'll be able to get access to the masterclass where you're learning all about these strategies. And we're teaching people in our community, a 7-figure community, how to actually do these things and make money online. Because again, we don't know and what we don't know. But again, there's opportunities. We don't have to do it the old way. And we're here to educate each other along the way. So my friend, thank you so much for your time. So I want to ask you 2 questions, and now I'll let you go. If you had to actually describe your legacy in one word, what would that one word be, and then why?
My legacy will be going back to the essence of what we are. Okay. And I believe that we came here to remember who we are, and not allow the system or the family dynamics or the religion, politics tell us who we should become, but we should determine who we are in order for us to achieve that best version of ourselves. So it would be essence.
Your essence. So that would be the one word is essence.
Yes.
Okay.
Essence.
I love it. And then here's my next question for you. So if you could go back and give one piece of advice, and if you're here, play along in the comments as well. But if you can give yourself one piece of advice, Catalina, to your younger self, what would it be?
Mm, um, I will tell myself that it's okay to not have everything right. To that it's okay to ask for help,
Mm,
and that when we ask for help, that doesn't mean that we are not strong enough. It means that we understand that we are part of a bigger support system, like just like you said, we don't have to do things alone, and that we definitely need people behind us to help us thrive. But as a single mom, I wanted to do it all, and I wanted to be on the go, and I wanted uh, to also hold the space for others. And there was a point where I was running low, and
mm,
I needed to change that mindset, and that belief that if if I showed vulnerability, then I was being weak. But in reality, we are cyclical beings. We are women that also we need to, I mean, regardless of, the gender, we
mhm.
all human beings, we need help. So I
Right,
will tell my younger self that it's okay to
right.
ask for help, and that it's okay to make mistakes, and not to have everything together, that it's okay.
Yes. And oh my God, you know what's so more than okay? You coming on here today. Like for single women, for people that are trying to rebuild their credit, for those that are in the loan game or trying to even get their first home, even aspiring to, I mean, the conference you put together, Heels to Deals, like hearing how credit works, hearing the amazing company you had, hearing your transformation story. I mean, it was so much information here today, Catalina. I truly, honestly thank you for being a part of the virtual live conversations with Adriane Mayes on Tuesdays, right?
Mm.
I'm just beginning, and you saying yes in the beginning of the journey for myself in regards because I just started these in May, and just you saying yes, I truly appreciate it because when we talked, with Brittany in regards to the credit, I saw something like it just genuine in you and you are so amazing, and I know that your coaching and everything else actually carries on as well. So please, I wanted to give you a moment to say whatever you would like on this platform because I am on a billionaire journey to obtain that.
Yes.
That's the truth. And along the way, people are going to see the replay, people are going to actually see how amazing you are. What's one thing you would like to kind of leave the audience with before we actually let you out on the rest of your Tuesday?
Yeah, thank you so much. So first of all, thank you for allowing this space, for us to share not only our message, but to share the services and the vision that we have for the way that we show up in the world. So as I said earlier, I'm a visionary leader that believes that transformation comes from the inside,
Yes.
but I can help you reach that next goal and level up, either through credit repair or tangible solutions to get your next financing home, investment home, or learning how to invest your money strategically, in plan for retirement. I help you all in just one stop. you know so if you ever need any help, if you ever need education, information on how to get started, please don't ever hesitate. It is my deepest pleasure and satisfaction to be able to serve and to provide tangible solutions that take you to the next level.
And so I did have your Facebook at Catalina Galeano. Is there anywhere else social media that they can find you, or is that the best place to actually find,
Um,
find what you're doing?
so it will be Facebook. I also have Instagram and LinkedIn,
Okay,
but I'm more active in Facebook for some reason. So
I get it.
yeah.
I get it, my friend. Thank you so much, seriously, for this afternoon and your time this afternoon. I truly appreciate it, and I would love to have you back when I'm blow up.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, sister. I love you, and thank you
I
so much
love
for
you as
this
well.
space.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Ah! Catalina Galeano! Oh my God. If you're just tuning in, you missed an amazing one. Oh, she was awesome. I am so thankful for the journey as much as the destination. Catalina, your brand, what you shared today. Thank you for gracing the platform with virtual sessions today. It was so impactful. And I honestly just, I'm just thankful for the journey, right? I am. And I just want to recap because I definitely kept everybody longer than I said I was, as always. And I didn't mean to, but it just kind of happens like that yet, right? So, Catalina, thank you so much for your time today. And we're going to definitely continue to do it every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Tuesday, we have Melissa Green, MGJ Consulting Hub. And that's who I was speaking with a few days ago in regards to I was sharing with Catalina my story. And just kind of talking about being authentic, but just kind of talking about the journey and how digital real estate. She's an actual real estate agent as well, but literally has her license. And we'll talk a little bit more about her story on next Tuesday. And then on July 8th, we have the opportunity of Willis D. Blackshear Jr., Ohio State Senator and the People's Champ. Amazing, amazing individual. Grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and now representing the state of Ohio. And it's going to grace our platform on Tuesday. And one of my cousin's favorite cousins, I won't get into trouble, Eugene Wadley, his best friend. And the type of man that Eugene is and the type of man that Willis E. Blackshear Jr., he's going to be president. This is one you want to tune in. I'm gonna claim it. I said it out loud. I said it live, June 24th, 2025. So we'll be able to go back and say, hey, Adriane Mayes said he was going to be president, and he's going to be live with us on July 8th. This brother is doing great things, and he's a genuine heart. And we're literally going to talk about everything that he's going through on July the 8th. July the 15th, like I mentioned earlier, used to work in Toronto with my cousin who played professional, Chris Bosh, with the Toronto Raptors. And Latanya Bentley worked with the Raptors, reached out to me in the DM, was like, Adriane, I have an Insta Live. Would you actually come on board and talk about your sobriety journey? And of course, I said yes. And so I asked her to come and do the same because she's doing great things in regards to safe space today herself, as well as her business partner, Sean. So I'm going to go on her Insta Live on July 15th at 8 p.m. and she's going to come on our virtual conversations at 4 p.m. So we're going to hit a double doozy. So that's going to be a loaded one and talk about just mental health and making sure that building your brand, it starts with your mindset. And we talked a lot about that today with Catalina as well. July 22nd, we have the honor of Mike Brady coming to our presence. So my real estate professionals, you know that solar is a way that you can actually make money on something called affiliate marketing. So Mike Brady works for a company, Power Solar 4.0, and this allows you to build your brand as well as make affiliate income just by referring your homeowners to the solar process. So Mike is going to come on, share a little bit more information about this as well, and be able to kind of get you involved. So my real estate professionals, this is one you don't want to miss out on as well. July 29th, 2025 is either going to be live or it's going to be a replay of Jack Miller with Jack's Digital Ventures, with the actual community, the seven-figure mentoring community that I mentioned in regards to building this billionaire brand with Being the Change LLC. It's called Passion Over Profits Pop. And I shared we're having a masterclass here tomorrow at noon, but Jack is killing it with faceless marketing. And he's going to help us and kind of just talk to us about his program that he promotes, which is called MAP, and which literally helps out with affiliate marketing, making money while you sleep. What Catalina shared in regards to the reason why she's a mortgage broker, why she's a credit specialist, the corporate world, right? You can make a choice, but you can actually make money online as well. And Jack is killing it. I think he made maybe $60,000 or $70,000 so far just doing faceless marketing. So we're going to talk about strategies and some key things with Jack and be able to have that great conversation. And then on August the 5th, 2025, my brother, Vincent Shaw, we graduated from Detroit Renaissance High School together, and he's now in California, the Purpose C LLC, Coach B, talking about transformation, growth, health. We had a passion we both played basketball in high school. I played in college at Murray State University, and we have that passion for music. So I reached out to Vince. I saw his Facebook. I saw some of the great things he's doing with men and health and transformation. Asked him to grace the platform on August, and he said yes. So my brother from Detroit, what up though? Detroit Renaissance High School, the best high school in the world. Everybody get mad at me. Yes, I said it. But on a serious note, we're going to talk real live conversations, and being able to have that and share the platform with him, I'm excited for. So again, thank you so much for your time here today. And I honestly want to wrap up and just share that, again, your inspiration on who you are takes you doing the work. it's one of those things that something called the ego. One of my friends that was on this platform not too long ago, Jaquise Purefoy, and she shared something. She shared something on, in our group, in our DM here today, and I wanted to actually end with that because, it's huge, and it's on my Facebook. I had to post it because it was so impactful. So if it's people who truly care about you will check you. And so if you can't be corrected without being offended, you will never grow in life. Growth requires honesty, and sometimes honesty hurts. But if your ego is louder than your willingness to learn, you will keep repeating the same cycles expecting different results. Correction is not an attack, it is a mirror. It is an opportunity to improve, to evolve, to elevate. The people who truly care about you will check you because they want to see you win. If you get offended every time someone holds you accountable, you are choosing pride over progress. And pride will cost you opportunities that humility could have unlocked. Real growth starts when you stop defending your limitations and start developing your character. So again, having an ego that's not it. It's just not it. And because when I actually built this AI cash, the story or what have you, check out my page in regards to where the beginning of it. But the 7-day quick start playbook to your AI cash story, we all have a story. And how you have these scroll stopping stories has a framework, no product, no ads, no tech. And what we're doing is making sure how you can actually show up online and making that first 5,000 online. You just need a story, a system, and the right support. And Adriane Mayes, your coach, is going to be here. And so the AI Cash Story Masterclass, how to make an extra $5,000 this summer with no product, no tech skills, and no experience. And my team that I'll show you here shortly are going to be able to host this on June 25th. And in this masterclass, you'll discover how to turn free AI tools and your Facebook profile into $5,000 a month online income in 3 simple steps. My real estate professionals, you know that time frame in between your closings and waiting on things to get approved. Register free for this private live masterclass happening June 25th, 2025 at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my masterclass team, Daniel Chu and Nathan Bokers with the Wealth Warriors, they're going to be actually running the masterclass to be able to allow you to get this information. And so what you will learn in this masterclass is discovering how everyday people are using free Facebook strategies and free AI tools to pull in an extra $5,000 a month online income, even with 0 tech skills. And you can discover why 99% of people fail to make money online because of this one mistake and how to avoid the trap of becoming broke. And then find out the simple 3-step process complete beginners are using to generate consistent income without a team, ads, or complex funnels. And then learn how to tap into AI. This is the time and your Facebook wave and use it to unlock cash flow and actually be able to grow and build. And that's what we're actually being able to get this going. So head on over to make sure you download the playbook and with the 7-day quick start AI cash story playbook for real estate professionals, for coaches, for entrepreneurs, for experts. If you've been stuck, we've been there. You might need a little help. And in this journey and in this live today, hopefully you've gotten some impact to be able to see that, hey, I don't have to do this alone. And there's a community of people that will help you get there to your goals. And all you have to do is take action, consistent action, be grateful, be humble, and know that your ego, you got to put that to the side. Pride, you got to get rid of it. And you're going to have trials and tribulations in life, but how you show up when no one else is watching. That's really the person that we really want to know. That's the authentic self. That's how you build your billionaire brand. And literally just taking it one step at a time, knowing that things will happen in due time. You just got to keep going. Thank you so much, Catalina Galeano, again, for sharing your platform with me today, your message. Thank you, all of everyone. And if you're watching a replay, please don't hesitate to drop in the comments one word to represent your brand or legacy. Would love to hear from you. Still going to grow with you. And like I shared with you, hope to see you live in regards to checking out the virtual conversations with Adriane Mayes, because we're just at the beginning. And we're going to continue to grow and build and become the best version possible. And how we're going to do that is just showing up. And how we show up is every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love to actually hear from you, visit you, and if you catch the replay, drop in the comments so I know that you're there. Adriane Mayes, live virtual conversations. We're just getting started. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though, Detroit? Thank you so much for tuning in. Deuces.